in Indiana is closed captioned for the hearing impaired. Live from the heart of Indiana, Linda Eltzroth and Chuck Lofton's exclusive AccuWeather forecast. This is Noon in Indiana.
Good afternoon and welcome to our Wednesday edition of Noon in Indiana. I'm Linda Eltzroth. As you have heard, there are changing developments over in the Soviet Union. We go to a live report now with Skip Lozier, who fills us in on what is happening.
There continue to be unconfirmed reports that the coup in Moscow is crumbling, that Soviet troops are pulling out of the Soviet capital, that the coup's leaders may even be fleeing the country, or at least fleeing the Soviet Union and the Russian Republic at this point. It is against that backdrop that President Bush decided to set the record straight. The president looked tired. He's been receiving briefings and talking by phone to U.S. allies and to Russian Republic President Boris Yeltsin.
It is too early to declare these matters over.
Bush says Yeltsin told him that not all Soviet troops are leaving Moscow, that the military threat is not over.
I believe that the airborne commander has come over to the Yeltsin side and pulled his forces back. The other are Spetsnaz forces, which are the highly disciplined forces who answer to Defense Minister Yazov, and apparently they are still under command of Yazov, and they have not come over to the side of democracy and freedom.
The president clearly hopes the coup is falling apart, hopes Mikhail Gorbachev will soon be back in charge. But publicly, Mr. Bush is taking the cautious approach.
While the situation remains highly fluid and uncertain, I think it is safe to say that the situation appears somewhat more positive than in the earliest hours of this coup.
The president says Yeltsin's stature will be increased enormously if he survives the coup, but Mr. Bush continues to warn that the threat is not over yet. Live with the president in Kennebunkport, Maine, I'm Skip Lozier.
And later on in this newscast, we will have a local reaction to the newest developments happening over in the Soviet Union from the Hudson Institute. Well, to other news now, Indianapolis Mayor William Hudnut has made a very important decision today about his future. The Newscenter's Glendale Jones is standing by live at the City-County building to fill us in. Glendale?
That's right. Very important decision in his future. Mayor Bill Hudnut says he's made up his mind. He's withdrawn his name for a position with the U.S. Education Department. Now, the mayor arrived with wife Beverly saying unexpected circumstances, namely their emotional experience of terminating Bev's pregnancy after finding out their 18-week-old fetus suffered from grave abnormal development. Here's what the mayor had to say.
I've decided that I just plain don't want to leave Indianapolis. Beverly and I have been going through a difficult emotional time over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And it seems the better part of wisdom not to add more stress to our lives by undertaking a move to Washington, to a place where nobody knows us and we don't have any friends or a nurturing community such as we have here in Indianapolis.
Now, the mayor and wife Beverly said that they really appreciate the emotional support that they've gotten from friends, strangers, and anyone else who can relate or understand what they've been going through. He says it was a reluctant experience, decision rather, but again, what he thought what was best for himself and for wife Beverly. He says he wants to pursue life as a private citizen now, and he's been looking into the private sector as far as jobs are concerned there. When asked if he would ever consider being in a public future again, he said probably not. When asked if ever or never, he said probably not. He says he's devoted about 20 years of his life as a public person. He wants to pursue other interests in the private sector. He wants to concentrate more on his family, obviously, and he's hoping that he will be able to do that. He says he's been talking with people, and time will only tell, but he's confident that he can get a position in the private sector. I'm Glendale Jones reporting live. Of course, we'll have more for you tonight on Newscenter 13 Primetime, beginning at 5.
Glendale, before you go, I know being a very popular mayor, and of course we're all concerned about him and his wife Beverly, are they receiving any kind of counseling?
They are. When asked that question, he says they've been reading books, they've been talking to doctors, and in one of the books he said, and even a doctor also told him, when something like this happens, it's best not to make a major move or a major decision in your life, such as a new position or a new job. He says he loves Indianapolis, he wants to remain here with his friends and the people he really loves dearly.
All right, Glendale Jones reporting live from downtown Indianapolis. Thank you, Glendale.
Okay.
Well, in other news this noon, a Crown Point jury deciding the guilt or innocence of a northern Indiana couple accused of murder and neglect of a child will resume deliberations today. Gloria Shipley and her husband, Dr. Gary Shipley, are accused of murder and abuse in the death of the doctor's 5-year-old daughter, Amy. She choked to death on milk laced with pepper. Defense attorneys claim it was a terrible accident, while the prosecution contends the Shipleys tortured, starved, beat, and eventually murdered the child. The jury deliberated 8 hours yesterday following 9 days of testimony. Student safety is the goal of inspectors working with IPS officials all this week. State police are crawling over, under, and through the fleet of buses, checking for maintenance problems. About half of the buses are failing their first inspection. Some are failing for having bad brakes or steering, but inspectors say most of the safety problems are minor. Of the buses that failed first inspection yesterday, more than half were repaired and passed second inspection. The remaining buses will be re-inspected this morning. In all, 284 buses will be inspected this week. Well, the Indianapolis Public School System's $334 million budget is the subject of heated debate. At the school board meeting last night, Indianapolis Education President Bryce Tressler fired the first shot, calling the budget regressive, anti-classroom, and anti-student. Superintendent Cheryl Gilbert responded, saying it is his goal to bring IPS teacher salaries in line with other districts. Reaction now from both men.
The budget will do nothing, I repeat, nothing, to correct any of the problems in IPS. In fact, it will help exacerbate the current situation. Teacher morale, which was so high a year ago, continues to plummet.
It is never surprising to me recently what the association president will do to undermine this particular superintendent. I am very, very concerned that his actions go beyond his personal responsibility, professional responsibility as a leader of the association.
The budget will be up for adoption at the next IPS Board of Commissioners meeting scheduled for next Thursday. Well, more than 28,000 students are returning to the IUPUI campus today, and greeting them are traffic jams and long walks. Several parking lots on campus have been eliminated because of construction. That has most students parking in several gravel lots at the edge of campus.
I normally park down here, and now I'm parking way down there. It's usually just bad the first week. You just have to go with it, I guess.
Hopefully find a closer parking spot next time. First morning, just thought I'd park and walk instead of be late to class.
Now, campus police advise students to arrive as early as they can and wear comfortable walking shoes. A new parking garage near the natatorium is scheduled to open in January. Well, to our trends and topics this noon, some Hoosier towns ranking among the best places to live. That's good news.
That's right, something to be proud of here. Every major city in the Hoosier State is a better place to live now than a year ago, according to Money Magazine. In its survey of the best places to live in America, Lafayette is the 14th best city in the country, moving up from 82nd in the 1990 survey. Terre Haute made the biggest jump of all 300 cities. Indianapolis moves up to 117th. Muncie placed near the middle of the list, and Anderson ranked 219th. And the best place to live, according to the survey, is Provo, Utah, and its sister city, Orem. I believe the worst, too, is Waterbury, Connecticut, number 300.
Yeah, we don't know what happened there. What's going wrong there just a year later?
Weather's a factor. Indianapolis is a pretty good place to be today. Very sunny and nice. We'll talk about a warm-up coming up.
Okay, thanks, Pat. Also coming up, Soviet experts from the Hudson Institute here in Indiana have been monitoring the latest coup developments. You will hear a reaction coming up on Noon in Indiana.
Since its first appearance in an 1830 poem, the term Hoosier has been used to describe people from Indiana. But what exactly is a Hoosier?
From the pioneer days, when somebody would come to the back door and knock on the back door, and the people in the house would say, "Who's there?"
Well, that is a possibility, because throughout history, there have been many explanations. Some believe that a contractor named Hoosier liked to hire workers from Indiana who were called Hoosier's men. The Hoosier poet himself, James Whitcomb Riley, contributed a meteor theory. He claimed Indiana pioneers were such vicious fighters that sometimes noses and ears would be bitten off. Anyone seeing an ear the next day would casually ask, "Whose ear?" Join Channel 13 in wishing happy birthday to Indiana on its 175th year of statehood.
Marsh is proud to bring you images of Indiana. You value the history and traditions of our state, and at Marsh, we value you.
We enjoy making improvements to our home. Last year, we put in a new kitchen. The year before, a wood deck. But this year, we made the smartest investment of all, new sash windows. New Sash has a reputation we could count on. Grandma! And now I have time for the more important things in life.
Discover a totally unique kind of antiperspirant. It's shaped to glide along your shape. A crystal clear antiperspirant. It's here. Glide on only from Arid. Not a thick, crumbly stick. Not a drippy roll-on. It's a clear, clean formula that glides on. Just turn up the amount you need for effective Arid protection so you can get a little closer. Arid Extra Dry Glide On and Arid Double X Glide On to help keep you extra, extra dry.
Pat Carlini is affiliated with the National Weather Association and is backed by Newscenter 13's exclusive AccuWeather.
I think it's going to be return of the muggies. It's getting a little warmer out there already today.
Yeah, we've had such a nice break. It's been so cool lately and cool, chilly evenings almost. A little touch of fall in the air. Now we're going to start warming things up nicely. We have had a tough time lately warming things up. It only reached the 70s during the day and 50s at night. Well, now all that's going to change and go back to normal the way it should be for this time of year. Back to the heat wave of summertime. We'll show you that in just a moment. Take a look outside now. Finally, we got some sunshine. We started off the morning off with a lot of clouds and some fog out there. A big layer of low-level clouds kept things kind of gloomy early this morning, but eventually that did burn off and the sun came out. Now, take a look at what we have as far as our current conditions. We're up to 79 degrees. Humidity's at 62. Winds are out of the southwest at 6. Barometer is 30.09, and that is falling. As you take a look at our satellite photo up close now, this noon, we see the Ohio Valley clear, nice and clear. Those clouds have pushed out of the way that were here earlier this morning. A little bit of cloud coverage coming in from the southwest, and there is some rain there, as we see on the big picture. See a lot of clouds building up here over the Red River Valley through Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, and up and down the East Coast. Look at this big winding mass of clouds left over from Hurricane Bob. This is all that's left of Hurricane Bob, is this low-pressure system situated up here in Maine. This is now pushing off the East Coast. Behind it, high pressure is keeping our skies very nice and clear and sunny for this time of year. And the clouds moving in from the west will bring our weather a few clouds and also a chance of rain as the weekend gets a little bit closer. The same for the radar. You can see the rain to the southwest and also still in New England and Maine now. They're up to 14 inches of rain in Portland, Maine. That is an all-time record for them for the month of August. More than rain than they've had in 120 years for this month. So they are certainly hit hard from Hurricane Bob. Take a look at the map for tomorrow. Still, high pressure is in control. This little cold front will sweep through and bring a chance of a shower to the northern part of the state. Really nothing to be concerned about until we get into later in the weekend, and we'll see some more rain then. Now, for your forecast today, a sunny afternoon, warm, 83 degrees for the high. Tonight, then, a few clouds around down to 62. If you're headed out to the entertainment, Diana Ross tonight at Deer Creek, a nice evening for that. And also at the State Fair, some country music going on there, 62 for the low. Tomorrow, then, up to 87, partly sunny skies, and a chance of a thunder shower in the afternoon. And that 87 will just creep up until the 90s by the time we get to the weekend, so a hot weekend coming up.
Sounds like the dog days of August are kind of
back.
That's true. Okay, thank you. Well, now to the latest developments in the Soviet Union, updating our top story. Mikhail Gorbachev is said to be returning to Moscow today as the coup against him is disintegrating. Military units deployed after the takeover are withdrawing from the capital, and the coup's leaders have reportedly left by plane to the Crimea. Now, in the days since the coup in the Soviet Union, we've turned for analysis to a former Soviet dissident and now a fellow at the Indianapolis-based Hudson Institute. Dmitry Mikheyev is joining us live now from the Hudson Institute. Mr. Mikheyev, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
You have predicted a short coup, at least no more than 6 days. It appears from what we can tell this is happening, but what do you make of the developments today?
Well, the things are unraveling as I foresaw it, because it was clear to me from the beginning that even the elite troops of the Interior Ministry of Interior didn't want to fight against a Russian parliament and a duly elected Russian president. So that was clear to me that this coup is not going to last, because as soon as this forces sided with Yeltsin, the task of the KGB was almost impossible. Yes.
A very complicated question, but following this, how do you see the leadership, the structure shaping up now in the Soviet Union?
I think that lots will depend on what kind of explanation Gorbachev is going to give us. If he, the question is, did he choose to be ill, or somebody told him to be ill? In other words, was he looking the other way, or he was actually under arrest and under threat from this junta? It's not clear yet at this moment. It will much depend on that. But the most exciting part of this particular situation is that the KGBs on Iran, they are flying, we were told, from Moscow to some of the Central Asian Republic. And I can tell you right from the start, they have to fly away from the territory of the United States because they're not safe within the Soviet Union. And my guess, it could be different options, but my guess is that there is enclave in Afghanistan which was confiscated by Soviet forces, and all the natives were expelled from here, and it's controlled, but still probably controlled by the KGB, this red spot.
Okay, Mr.
Maybe
Mikheyev,
this is where they're going.
Thank you very much. A lot of questions a lot of us still have. Thank you for joining us this noon.
Thank you.
And just ahead on noon in Indiana, the former star of Different Strokes is sentenced for robbery.
Also, we will have the latest on those toxic fumes from the Australian chemical explosion. It forced the evacuation of thousands of people. That story is on our World Matters coming up.
Old-fashioned value. That's what you can expect from MCL cafeterias. Our food is cooked from scratch, and you'll find a great selection, both for hearty appetites and for healthy ones. Plus, every day at MCL cafeterias, we serve hometown specials that are exceptional values. Like Thursday's hometown special, our home-style meatloaf for just $1.69. MCL cafeterias.
It's your Chrysler Plymouth dealer's big year-end clearance. You want a great deal, right?
Yeah!
Hey, Bakers, look at Voyager.
Sticker priced under $13,500 with automatic and air.
Get in there and deal. Hey, Louis, you see that Sundance America?
It's only $64.99 after your rookie rebate.
Hey, Stewart, how about that Fifth Avenue?
Hurry in and take advantage of $1,500 year-end clearance cash back. See the customer satisfaction specialist, your Central Indiana Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Spine surgeon Dr. Philip Pryor.
What's the best way to treat lower back pain? I'm Dr. Philip Pryor, and I'll explain several options for you Sunday morning on Second Opinion. My part of the show is Ask the Doctor. And this week you can ask me anything about backs. Maybe you're wondering about disc problems or curvature of the spine. Call 255-1090 with your questions, then join me Sunday at 10:30 right here on Channel 13 for Second Opinion.
The jobs of tomorrow are here, thousands of them, waiting to be filled. But you have to know the fields they're in, and you have to have what it takes to master those fields. Because you can't get the jobs of tomorrow until you get the skills of today. Start by calling ITT Technical Institute. We'll send your copy of 10 things every high school graduate should know about today's job market. Call 1-800-942-0077.
A chemical storage tank in Australia has been struck by lightning and burst into flames today, sending thousands of people running from toxic fumes. The story is on our World Matters now. After the initial explosion, the fire spread, threatening as many as 40 other chemical tanks. The toxic smoke burns the eyes, and it can be deadly if inhaled in a high concentration. No injuries have been reported, but Melbourne police warned people around the area to stay inside their homes and offices with their doors closed. Police in Australia then began evacuating thousands of people in the 4-square-mile area. A fatal car accident sparked violent clashes between blacks and Orthodox Jews in Brooklyn's Crown Heights section. It happened overnight. 15 people, including police officers, were injured last night when hundreds of angry youths hurled bottles and rocks. Police say they were torched during the melee involving those two groups. Convicted mail bomber Walter Leroy Moody has received the maximum sentence that he could have been handed. A Minnesota judge gave Moody 7 life sentences and 400 years to be served concurrently. The judge says Moody deserves the most severe punishment authorized by law. Moody was convicted in June for making and mailing the pipe bombs that killed a judge in Alabama and a Georgia civil rights lawyer in December of 1989. Well, to our People News now. Not a positive note really as well here. The former child stars receive some sentencing for robbery.
Right. Every now and then you see more and more child stars in the news like this. This time, actress Dana Plato, found guilty of robbing a Las Vegas video store, has received her sentencing. A judge placed Plato on 5 years probation and ordered her to perform 400 hours of community service. The 26-year-old former star of TV series Different Strokes pleaded guilty in June to robbing a video store. $160 was taken during the holdup. Plato could have been sentenced to 15 years in prison. Well, up next, two big names. Country and contemporary music are in concert tonight, and it's the talk of the town.
Also ahead, Pat, it's Farmers' Day at the State Fair, and youngsters put their farm pets on parade. We'll have more on the celebration when Noon in Indiana continues.
No opponent is tougher than pain, but you can stay in the game with Flexall. When one pain-relieving gel is endorsed by the athletic trainers in pro football, baseball, basketball, and hockey, you know it's the best.
Flexall, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
I was suffering from PMS. I had extreme back pain, and my emotions were on a roller coaster. But you don't have to suffer from PMS. Premsin is available.
Premsin PMS for the period before your period.
An anonymous tip to police can help keep your neighborhood safer. Become a Crime Stopper and call toll-free 800-92-ALERT or in Metro Indianapolis at 637-2323.
It's your Chrysler Plymouth dealer's big year-end clearance. You want a great deal, right? Yeah! Hey, Bakers, look at Voyager.
Sticker priced under $13.5 with automatic and air.
Get in there and deal. Hey, Louis, you see that Sundance America?
It's only $64.99 after your rookie rebate.
Hey, Stewart, how about that Fifth Avenue?
Hurry in and take advantage of $1,500 year-end clearance cash back. See the customer satisfaction specialist, your Central Indiana Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
What I remember most about having a cataract was the glare from lights at night, even glare when I tried to watch TV.
Cataract removal isn't what it used to be. With No Stitch, the incision is so small, no stitches are necessary. No Stitch means faster recovery than ever before.
So now I can see so much better, and my cataract is just a blurry memory.
Call 887-4000. At the Indiana Eye Clinic, cost will never stand in the way of your eyesight.
Well, today is Farmers' Day at the Indiana State Fair, and what would Farmers' Day be without a look at the future of farming? That's exactly what farmers were treated to at the grandstand, as about a dozen future farmers showed off their animals. There was a patriotic twist to the pets on parade, as you see. Entrants ranged in age from 11 months to about 8 years old. The pets on parade, as well as all the Farmers' Day events, are sponsored by the Indiana Farm Bureau. That's cute. You know, the fair's only, it lasts until Sunday, I believe?
Right.
Not that much longer. Well, this would be a terrific night to go to a concert, and you've got your pickings tonight, that's for sure.
That's for sure. All over town, too, not just the fair. Well, with the Indiana State Fair underway and Deer Creek Music Center still open, the musical entertainment is nonstop around town this weekend. Tonight, Diana Ross fans will enjoy a special late summer performance at Deer Creek Music Center. Showtime is at 8 p.m. If country music is more your taste, you'll want to head over to the State Fair. Tonight, it's Alabama and Ricky Van Shelton. Showtime is at 7:30, and the country music continues right on up to the weekend. And there's still plenty more shows also at Deer Creek. Many folks have asked when do they close, but all through September yet, so they're still going strong.
George Strait is
George Strait then is coming also this week to the fair after Alabama.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Pat. We'll be back right after this.
Every day, all across America, thousands of entrepreneurs are working in a growing industry. Business people like this one are turning a tidy profit while cleaning up the environment. You can return your cans and other aluminum scrap to a convenient Reynolds Recycling Center, and we'll pay you back in cold, hard cash.
There you go, Jimmy. Thanks a lot.
See you next week.
Hi, how are you?
For the Reynolds Recycling Center nearest you, call 1-800-228-2525.
Since its first appearance in an 1830 poem, the term Hoosier has been used to describe people from Indiana. But what exactly is a Hoosier?
From the pioneer days, when somebody would come to the back door and knock on the back door, and the people in the house would say, "Who's there?"
Well, Well, that is a possibility because throughout history, there have been many explanations. Some believe that a contractor named Hoosier liked to hire workers from Indiana who were called Hoosier's men. The Hoosier poet himself, James Whitcomb Riley, contributed a meteor theory. He claimed Indiana pioneers were such vicious fighters that sometimes noses and ears would be bitten off. Anyone seeing an ear the next day would casually ask, whose ear? Join Channel 13 in wishing happy birthday to Indiana on its 175th year of statehood.
Images of Indiana is presented by Midwest Medical Center, who is proud to be a part of the rich and vibrant heritage of Indiana and looks forward to helping build an even brighter and healthier tomorrow.
Kentucky Fried Chicken of Central Indiana has last-minute summertime savings for you. For a limited time only, you can get 10 pieces of Kentucky Fried Chicken for only $4.99. Get 10 hot, juicy pieces of the Colonel's original recipe or extra tasty crispy chicken for $4.99. Just $4.99 for 10 pieces of the Colonel's great-tasting chicken. What a great deal from KFC. This last-minute summertime savings ends soon. Speed on over to Central Indiana KFC restaurant today.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev is expected to return to Moscow today as the coup attempt appears to have been crumbling in the Soviet Union and Soviet tanks move away from the Russian parliament. We will have a complete wrap-up of the day's events on the Newscenter beginning at 5 and then later at 6 o'clock. Plus, the sports drink war is heating up. Tonight, the experts at Consumer Reports will let you know if sports drinks are worth paying for when tap water flows freely. We'll have that story for you tonight on the Newscenter at 5 o'clock. And not a bad day in store for us.
Right, but you'll need some of that over the weekend. It's going to get a lot hotter. Today starts to warm up, and right on through the weekend, much warmer and a lot more humidity coming back.
Okay, Pat, thanks. Okay. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Noon in Indiana. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. I'm Linda Eltzroth.
And I'm Pat Carlini. We hope you join us again tomorrow. Until then, make it a great day. A closer look is next.